For nearly 6 decades, James Brolin has remained a steady and familiar presence in Hollywood, not because he demanded attention, but because he consistently earned respect. From his earliest screen appearances to his later, more mature roles, he has built a career defined by reliability, depth, and quiet confidence. While many performers chase trends or headlines, James has always followed a different rhythm, one guided by craft rather than spectacle. He never positioned himself as larger than life, yet his body of work speaks volumes. Audiences have come to recognize him as someone who brings sincerity to every role, whether playing a doctor, a lawman, a husband, or a conflicted soul searching for meaning. His longevity is not an accident. It is the result of patience, discipline, and an unwavering belief that honest work eventually finds its audience. In an industry that often celebrates reinvention through shock value, James's consistency feels almost radical. Choosing substance over spotlight. From the beginning, James understood that fame alone could not sustain a meaningful life. While he appreciated the opportunities acting provided, he never allowed success to define his identity. He valued the simple things: family dinners, long walks, thoughtful conversations, and time spent away from cameras. This perspective shaped every major decision he made, including the roles he accepted and the projects he declined. He gravitated towards stories that explored human complexity rather than shallow spectacle. That selective approach kept his career steady without exhausting his spirit. Instead of burning brightly and quickly, he built something durable. He remained curious, engaged, and open to growth, even as he aged in an industry often resistant to change. For James, success was never about dominating box offices or collecting headlines. It was about being able to look back and recognize a body of work built with care, intention, and respect for the art of storytelling, roots that shaped his character. Long before Hollywood took notice, James was simply a thoughtful boy growing up in Los Angeles. His father worked as a contractor, and his mother balanced family life with a brief connection to the film world. Their household valued responsibility, humility, and perseverance. James learned early that effort mattered more than excuses, and that integrity was not negotiable. He developed an interest in movies, airplanes, and storytelling, fascinated by how images and sound could stir emotion. While other children dreamed of vast success, James imagined building something lasting. He spent hours observing people, noticing small gestures and unspoken feelings. These habits would later become the foundation of his acting style. He did not rely on flashiness or exaggeration. Instead, he cultivated restraint and truthfulness. Those early years quietly shaped the man he would become, grounded, observant, and deeply respectful of the work. The long road to recognition. James' entry into professional acting was not effortless. Auditions often ended with polite rejections, and casting agents struggled to place him into easy categories. He was told he was too tall, too reserved, or not immediately memorable. Rather than becoming bitter, James used those setbacks as motivation. He studied, practiced, and continued showing up. When he finally landed a recurring role on Marcus Welby, MD, it marked a turning point. Viewers responded to the sincerity he brought to the character, and producers recognized his quiet strength. The success did not inflate his ego. Instead, it gave him confidence that patience pays off. Awards and praise followed, but James remained grounded. He understood that one role did not define a career. What mattered was consistency. Each job became another opportunity to learn, grow, and refine his craft. A career built on depth. Over the years, James chose projects that allowed him to explore layered, emotionally complex characters. He portrayed heroes and flawed men, authority figures and vulnerable souls, always searching for the humanity beneath the surface. His performances rarely relied on grand gestures. Instead, he conveyed meaning through subtle shifts in tone, posture, and expression. Directors appreciated his reliability. Co-stars valued his generosity. He arrived prepared, treated everyone with respect, and focused on the work rather than the spotlight. This reputation followed him from film to television and back again. While others chased constant reinvention, James focused on steady evolution. His career became a long conversation rather than a series of loud statements. It is this body of thoughtful work that continues to earn him admiration across generations. Meeting a kindred spirit. By the time James met Barbra Streisand, he had already lived through the highs and lows of Hollywood. He knew that success could be fleeting, and the true fulfillment came from connection. Barbra, too, understood the cost of fame. She had spent her life fighting for creative control, artistic respect, and personal authenticity. Their first meeting was refreshingly unpretentious. It was not a scripted moment or a fairy tale scene. It was honest, slightly awkward, and genuine. They spoke openly, teased each other, and sensed a shared understanding beneath the surface. Neither was searching for perfection. Both were searching for truth. That mutual recognition became the foundation of everything that followed. A relationship that grew slowly. Their relationship did not unfold in a rush. James and Barbra took their time, allowing trust to develop naturally. They talked about childhood experiences, fears, disappointments, and dreams. They listened more than they performed. James admired Barbra's fierce independence and creative vision. Barbra appreciated James's steadiness and emotional reliability. He proposed more than once, not out of pressure, but out of certainty. When Barbra finally accepted, it came from a place of clarity rather than impulse. Their wedding was intimate, reflecting their shared preference for meaning over spectacle. It was not about impressing the world. It was about committing to one another. Building a life-together marriage did not change who James and Barbra were. It simply deepened what already existed. They built a home that felt like a sanctuary rather than a showcase. Creativity was encouraged, but so was rest. Silence was welcomed as much as conversation. They supported each other's passions without competing for attention. James enjoyed gardening, spending time outdoors, and caring for animals. Barbra immersed herself in photography, design, and personal creative projects. Their rhythms were different, yet complementary. They respected each other's need for space while remaining emotionally present. This balance became one of their greatest strengths. Privacy as a shared value. From early on, they agreed that their relationship would not be a public performance. They attended events when necessary, but avoided turning their marriage into a media narrative. Their private life belonged to them. This decision protected their bond from unnecessary strain. While rumors occasionally surfaced, they rarely responded. They trusted each other more than outside opinions. Over time, this approach allowed their relationship to mature without constant interference. Their love grew quietly, steadily, and without the pressure to prove itself to anyone else, understanding the meaning of partnership. James has often spoken about love as an active choice rather than a feeling alone. For him, partnership means showing up, even when it is difficult. It means listening without trying to fix everything. It means adapting as life changes. Barbra shares this understanding. Both recognize that long-term love is not about perfection. It is about commitment through imperfection. This philosophy has guided them through professional stress, family challenges, and personal growth. They do not pretend that marriage is effortless. They simply believe it is worth the effort. Entering a new chapter. As the years have passed, both James and Barbra have become more selective about how they spend their time. They no longer feel the need to be everywhere or do everything. Health, peace, and emotional well-being have taken priority. Like many couples who have spent decades together, they are navigating the realities of aging with honesty and care. These changes are not dramatic announcements. They are quiet adjustments, made thoughtfully and privately, presence over performance. James's recent choice to slow down professionally reflects his lifelong values. Rather than chasing additional projects, he has chosen to focus on home, family, and being present. This decision is not rooted in obligation or sacrifice in the dramatic sense. It is an extension of who he has always been. For James, success was never about constant productivity. It was about living in alignment with what matters most. Being present with the person he loves is now his highest priority. Redefining strength. Strength is often misunderstood as something loud, forceful, or unyielding, but James Brolin has spent a lifetime quietly redefining what real strength looks like. His version is not built on dominance or bravado, but on patience, empathy, and emotional presence. It is the strength to listen when it would be easier to speak, to stay when others might walk away, and to place love above ego without needing acknowledgement. He understands that real courage often shows itself in ordinary moments, holding space for another person's fears, offering reassurance without judgment, and remaining steady through uncertainty. This form of strength rarely earns headlines, yet it is the kind that sustains relationships over decades. James demonstrates through his daily choices that the most powerful strength is not about being seen, but about being dependable. Barbra's resilience. Barbra Streisand's life has been shaped by resilience from the very beginning. Early loss, professional resistance, and constant scrutiny could have diminished her spirit, yet instead they sharpened it. She learned to trust her instincts, defend her creative vision, and stand firm in a world that often asked her to conform. That same inner resolve continues to define her today. Though she has stepped back from constant public appearances, her imagination and creative curiosity remain alive and active. She still explores, creates, and expresses herself in ways that feel honest and fulfilling. James's presence offers stability and companionship, but Barbra's strength has always been deeply rooted within her. She is not defined by circumstances, but by the courage to remain true to herself. A mutual exchange of support, James and Barbra's relationship thrives because it is built on reciprocity rather than dependency. Each brings something essential to the partnership. James offers calm, grounding, and steady reassurance. Barbra offers inspiration, imagination, and creative fire. They support one another in ways that feel natural rather than transactional. There is no scoreboard, no silent tally of who gives more. Instead, there is a shared understanding that love is fluid, changing shape as life changes. Some days, one leads, other days the roles reverse. What never changes is the respect they hold for each other's inner worlds. They trust each other's judgment, honor each other's boundaries, and celebrate each other's individuality. That mutual respect is the quiet engine that has powered their bond for decades, the beauty of ordinary days. Much of James and Barbra's life together is made up of moments most people would consider unremarkable. Morning coffee, shared meals, time spent with their dogs, quiet evenings at home. Yet these simple rituals form the heartbeat of their relationship. They understand that a meaningful life is not built only from grand milestones, but from the accumulation of small, caring gestures. Happiness for them is not a performance or a destination. It is a daily practice. They show up for each other in ordinary ways, and in doing so, create something extraordinary. Their joy does not come from constant excitement, but from the comfort of familiarity and the security of knowing they are not alone. A legacy beyond awards. James Brolin's legacy cannot be captured by awards, box office numbers, or critical praise alone. While his body of work is impressive, his character off-screen tells an equally important story. He has shown that it is possible to navigate a long career without losing one's sense of self. He has demonstrated that success does not require sacrificing kindness, humility, or personal values. The relationships he has nurtured, the loyalty he has shown, and the life he has chosen to build speak just as loudly as any performance. His example reminds us that the truest measure of a life well lived is not how loudly it is applauded, but how deeply it is felt by the people closest to us. Aging with grace. Growing older in the public eye comes with unique challenges, but James and Barbra have chosen to meet this stage of life with honesty rather than resistance. They do not attempt to freeze time or pretend they are unchanged. Instead, they acknowledge the realities of aging while continuing to find purpose and joy. They embrace who they are now, with all the wisdom, limitations, and perspective that come with experience. This acceptance frees them from bitterness and allows them to remain present. Rather than clinging to the past, they appreciate what still lies ahead. Their approach reminds us that every season of life carries its own beauty, and that growth does not stop simply because time moves forward. quiet inspiration. James and Barbra's story is not fueled by scandal, spectacle, or constant reinvention. It is fueled by consistency, respect, and choice. In a culture that often equates success with visibility, their quieter path feels refreshing. They show that love does not have to be dramatic to be profound, that fulfillment does not require constant noise. Their life together stands as a gentle challenge to the idea that happiness must be loud to be real. Instead, they embody a kind of inspiration that unfolds slowly through years of shared experience and mutual care. It is the kind of inspiration that does not demand attention, yet leaves a lasting impression. Looking forward. Together, James and Barbra do not define the future by upcoming projects or public milestones. They define it by time spent together, time spent talking, laughing, and simply being present. They approach what lies ahead with trust rather than fear, and with a quiet confidence that comes from having already weathered so much side by side. They know that life will continue to change, but they also know they will face those changes together. Their focus is not on what they might lose, but on what they can still share. This perspective allows them to move forward with peace and gratitude. A story of enduring love. At its core, their story is beautifully simple. Two people met later in life, recognized something familiar in each other, and chose to build a partnership rooted in respect, patience, and care. There were no guarantees, only intention. Decades later, that intention still guides them. Their love has evolved, deepened, and matured, shaped by experience and understanding. It is not flawless. It is not effortless. It is real. And it is precisely this authenticity that makes their bond extraordinary. They remind us that enduring love is not about perfection, but about choosing each other, again and again. Final reflection. James Brolin's most meaningful role may never appear on a screen. It is found in the way he shows up for the person he loves, in the consistency of his care, and in the quiet integrity of his choices. His story invites us to reconsider what we value and how we define success. It reminds us that some of the greatest achievements happen far from public view. They happen in homes, in private conversations, and in everyday acts of devotion. These moments may never be applauded, but they shape lives in lasting ways. And in the end, that may be the most powerful legacy of all.